Hello, thank you all for being here this evening. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. This seems to be a super busy time for everyone. So I just want to thank you for taking active participation and supporting us and supporting your child as they prepare for their high school course selections. I'm going to start by introducing myself. I am Holly Hammonds. I am one of the high school counselors. Students who have last names A through L are assigned to me, and I'm going to allow my coworker here to introduce herself.
I'm Sharon Ansel, that's 3 students' last name M through Z are assigned under me. Welcome.
And I believe Mr. Zorn is around here somewhere, and he may make an appearance. He's still holding the door, allowing families to join us. So on Monday, I had the pleasure of meeting with our rising 9th graders. Yes, that's right, rising 9th graders. Is it starting to sink in? I know some of you are nervous and maybe a little excited, but most parents, I believe, are nervous, but please, we're going to take good care of them, I promise. But anyway, in meeting with them on Monday, my goal for them was to understand, number 1, their high school graduation requirements. Number 2, the courses that we could offer them at Union Academy, but then also how this is all linked to the college admissions process and why it's important. So as we move into the graduation requirements and the classes we offer, I wanted to point out to them that we offer various levels of courses, honors, AP, and college prep level classes. We also offer college transfer classes, which they are actually offered through South Piedmont Community College. But let me touch on college prep. These courses meet the standards specified by the North Carolina Standard Course of Study. They are designed to prepare students for their post-secondary education, whether it be a 4-year college, a community college, a technical school, the military, or prepare them to head straight into a career. We also offer honors level courses. The course content, the pace, the academic rigor, and the expectations of these classes surpass the standards that are set forth by the North Carolina Standard Course of Study. Such courses demand greater responsibility and independence on behalf of the student. Now, some of your students are already taking some high school level courses, and so they have a little taste of what that's like already. We also offer advanced placement courses. You'll hear students refer to them as AP level courses. These classes are rigorous. They are college level courses, and there's an AP exam that they're required at the completion of the course in which they could potentially earn college credit. Now, in order to do so, colleges are mostly looking for scores of level 4 and 5. There are some colleges that will accept a level 3. So as they begin looking through our high school course planning guide, I wanted them to see and understand what the differences are in these classes that we offer face-to-face on our campus. I didn't dig too deeply into the college transfer classes offered by South Piedmont just because I did not want to overwhelm them too much because this is all a lot to take in. College transfer classes, they are designed for our juniors and seniors in which they can take classes to earn college credit. Can you all hear me? Okay, maybe it's louder than I feel like it is. These classes obviously are rigorous. They're different from what they've experienced in high school because they are taught by college professors. Many of these classes are offered online, and it's to give them a taste of what it's going to be like, but also, if they are eager to begin earning those college credits, they are able to do so. Students earning a C or higher as a final grade in these classes earn the college transfer credit. These credits will transfer into any of the 16 UNC system schools. They also transfer to a number of independent colleges in the state of North Carolina. So I tell you all of this because as they are planning their high school course selections, I encourage them all to begin with the end in mind. Have them to start thinking about colleges that they may want to apply to in their senior year. Have them to begin thinking about careers that they may be interested in pursuing, because those, your career plans, your college plans, that should ultimately drive what you do in high school, okay? But ultimately, what I did want them to walk away with is that they're encouraged to take classes that they feel like they would be successful in. So not everyone's going to take honors level classes, not everyone's going to take AP level courses, and some may not take college transfer classes either. With your college prep level courses, everything that we offer is going to prepare them to get into a four-year college if that's their plan. Another difference with these courses, to go along with the difference in rigor, is the grading scale and quality points that you receive based on your final grade. And so I've just laid out a chart here so you can kind of understand how they are weighted differently. Your quality points calculated provide your GPA. And so at the end of the year or the end of the semester, when you've received your final grade, you receive the number of quality points based on, did you earn an A, B, C, D, or an F? And so as you see here, a college prep level course, you earn 4 quality points. For an honors, it's 4.5, and for an AP, you receive 5 points. Also, with the college transfer classes that I had mentioned, those are weighted as an AP course as well. So if you want to just keep that in the back of your mind. And so to calculate GPA, which is one of the things that colleges will be looking at on their high school transcript, you add up the number of quality points and you divide that by the number of classes attended, and that provides them with their GPA. As you'll find out soon, once they enter high school, they are very concerned with that number and how they rank among their peers. Any questions so far? So what exactly are the 24 required credits? Mr. Zorn met with parents, I believe, a week ago to kind of review this same information. However, it's important to hear it again. So the 24 required credits for the class of 2023, I'll go deeper into each subject area, but this is just a glimpse of what they'll have to have in order to graduate. They're required to earn 4 English credits, and that's level 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're required to earn 4 math credits, which would include Math 1, Math 2, Math 3, and that higher level math for which Math 3 is the prerequisite. That would either be honors pre-calculus or advanced functions and modeling. For science, they are required to earn 4 credits, which would include an earth and environmental science, a biology, a physical science, which could also be chemistry, and then a science elective. Our science electives can be pulled from a natural science, a behavioral science, or an agricultural science. So they have a variety of options for achieving that credit for the science elective. For social studies, they're required to earn 4 credits, which include a world history, American History 1, and American History 2, and civics. Now, some students may choose an alternate path for achieving those credits, where they complete world history as a 9th grader, going into AP US History as a sophomore. They will pick up a social studies elective, which could be a number of courses such as psychology, sociology, maybe world civilization, which is offered online through North Carolina Virtual Public School, African American Studies, which is also offered online, and then they would follow up with civics. For health and PE, all of our students are required to complete 1 credit of health and PE. The majority of all students will earn this credit in 9th grade. However, we do understand some students, may be an exception to this rule, mainly band students. We may find an alternative for them earning that credit, such as taking the class online over summer, or in addition to the regular school day, or postponing to the following school year. With the world language credits, they are required to earn 2 world language credits from within the same discipline, a level 1 and a level 2. Students are required to earn these 2 credits within their first 2 years of high school. The purpose behind this is as they kind of front load their schedule for freshman, sophomore, and junior year, they're opening up more flexibility as they become an upperclassman to take those higher level courses and potentially take the college transfer classes that we mentioned earlier. We are requiring students to complete a college and career ready credit. This course will be research and leadership, which is offered and is only offered at the honors level. So regardless of the path that your child is on, they will ultimately graduate with at least 1 honors credit on their transcript. To give you a little background or a little insight as to the purpose of this research and leadership course, because this is a new course, is to teach students to conduct relevant and meaningful research on a topic and gain in-depth understanding of an idea and produce research products in multiple media formats. I explained to your students on Monday that when they get to college, ultimately, that's what their assignments are going to look like. They will have tests. However, anything outside of the tests that they're required to take for their courses will be writing research papers and conducting the research to gather the information to write. For their elective credits, they're required to earn 4 credits. 2 of those credits must be from within the same discipline, maybe in level 1 or level 2. Examples of that would be maybe an Art 1, an Art 2, or an Agri-Science and Animal Science. Possibly Pottery 1, Pottery 2. Maybe they want to pursue business and they could take Foundations of Business and Fiscal Management. They could also earn those 2 elective credits from within the same discipline from picking up electives in their core subject areas of English, Math, Science, and Social Studies. So again, several options for achieving the credits there. The other 2 credits can be from within any discipline. They are recommended but not required to take a fine arts credit. As they begin looking at college admissions requirements, they may see that some of the schools that they're interested in applying to prefer a fine arts credit. You're required, and I won't go too deep into the volunteer service hours, but 105 community or volunteer service hours. It's recommended their freshman year, they set a goal for 15. 10 of those hours have to be with a nonprofit organization, at least 10. And then the other 5 can be volunteer if they choose to do it that way. They'll use the MobileServe app, as parents are already using now, and they'll learn more about that as they enter in freshman year. Any questions so far?
Yes, the research and leadership was explained last week in these 2 courses. Mr. Dillon was explaining that there will be a research course and there will be a leadership course.
Mr. Norton? Okay, that is correct. So it will be separate. Oh, only one.
You only need one of them.
Okay, you only need one of them. You only need one of them, research or leadership. Anything else? Just to break down each subject area, and I do this not to insult anyone's intelligence, but in working with the students, it kind of lays it out a little more clearly as to what they will be taking first, what will follow the next year, junior year, senior year. And so anyway, this is what I showed them. And again, I know some students will be an exception to the rule. Some students are already taking English 1 as an 8th grader. So obviously they would move on to English 2 as a 9th grader. But for the majority of students, they will be signing up for English 1 or English 1 honors. And going back to honors level courses, teachers make recommendations for who should be enrolling in the honors level class. We have given our 8th grade core teachers a copy of the honors course guidelines, and they are using that information to make these recommendations accordingly. Like I told your students, trust your teachers. They're with your child every day for that particular academic subject area. They're well aware of, their performance, their level of motivation, their level of responsibility, and how well they work independently. So trust your teachers. However, if there is a case where your child is not recommended for an honors class, but you feel strongly, as well as your child, that they should be taking the honors level course, we do have an honors course waiver form, and I'll show you where to find that on our website. And while I mention forms, they received an orange form on Monday, which is their course request form. Some of you brought that with you this evening, and so if you want to, I asked your students to fill them out Monday as we moved along, with the exception of our elective options. I wanted them to kind of go ahead and write in their core classes and discuss the elective options with you. So I'm glad some of you brought that form and you're able to kind of check what they've done so far. That form is due February 15th, which they should have written that at the top of their page. It's also noted at the bottom of the page. On the flip side of that form is kind of, I guess I could describe it as a grid where they can kind of check themselves, how far along they are in meeting graduation requirements. That's for them to help them out. I'm more so concerned with their course requests for next school year. So again, back to the class that they should be taking next year. It's going to be English 1 or English 1 honors, or if they're currently in English 1 as an 8th grader, then it would be English 2 or English 2 honors. As you get into your 3rd level of English, that does open up the door to take AP Language and Composition. With AP level courses, a teacher recommendation is required, and you cannot waive into an AP level course. So I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page with that. The math sequence is as follows. Most students will be taking Math 1 next year as a 9th grader. If your child is currently in Math 1, then they would follow the sequence to pick up Math 2 next year, or Math 2 honors. I tried to question all of the classes. I don't think we have any 8th graders in Math 2, but if we do, I apologize. But if they are in Math 2, they would move on to Math 3 next year as a 9th grader. Now, as far as the recommendations are concerned, the teachers are entering those into PowerSchool on March 11th. We will be going back into Ms. Malone's class, and we will help your child sign up through PowerSchool for the courses they have listed on their course request form. When they log into PowerSchool, they will see their recommendations. I have told them, their teachers will be having conversations with them about those recommendations. If they are not recommended, but again, feel strongly that they would be successful in the honors level course, they should turn in their honors waiver along with their orange form by February 15th. Yes, ma'am.
Is there no Math 1 honors?
No, ma'am, there's not. Because students have the ability to take that course in 8th grade, that's pretty much why it is not offered at the honors level. Any other questions about math? The course sequence for science. Most all of our 9th graders should be signing up for, or rising 9th graders should be signing up for Earth and Environmental Science or Earth and Environmental Science honors. However, there are some students who are currently in Math 1 who may receive recommendation for biology honors. If they are following the Earth and Environmental pathway, beginning their 9th grade year, they would move into biology or biology honors their sophomore year. And then, of course, physical science, chemistry, or honors chemistry, possibly their junior year. And they can pick up their science elective at any point in time between 9th and 12th grade. For the students who may be recommended for biology as 9th graders, They could pick up chemistry honors following biology, AP Environmental, in which chemistry and AP Environmental can be taken during the same school year. They act as or serve as co-requisites if students choose to do that. And then they would also pick up a science elective. I make sure to inform your students that if they take all college prep level classes 9th grade, that does not mean that they can never take an honors level course or an AP level course, okay? They always have that opportunity. Again, it goes back to them preparing themselves for their career and college paths, allowing that to drive their performance in high school. The course sequence for social studies, all of our 9th graders will take world history. It may be at the CP level, the honors level, or at the AP level. I can tell you that only students who are currently in English 1 will be considered for the AP World History courses. That is one of the guidelines that our 8th grade teachers use. After World History, you see how it splits off into 2 different options. As sophomores, they would move into American History. American History is offered year-long as a college prep level course and an honors level course. It's also offered as an accelerated course. And what accelerated means is that it's a semester-long history course. If they end up taking that, excuse me, if they end up taking the accelerated American History 1 during their sophomore year, then they would also pick up the accelerated American History 2. That gives them the opportunity to earn both of those credits within the same school year. Again, finishing up, kind of front loading their course schedule, opening up flexibility as an upperclassman to take higher level courses. Some students, after completing world history, may choose the alternate path of taking AP US history in lieu of American 1 and American 2. If that's what they choose to do, then they would be required to pick up a social studies elective and then go on to complete their civics and economics to complete their 4 units of social studies. For the world language requirements, the 2 sequential credits, most students will be taking Spanish. I know some students are already in Spanish 1 as an 8th grader, which means they would go into Spanish 2 next year. However, the majority will be picking up Spanish 1. That is the only world language that we offer face-to-face. I did inform your students that there are some online options because there were a couple of students that raised their hand indicating that they may want to take French or German. So that is an option. If they choose to take an online class, we require that a student and parent fill out an online course waiver form. Not a waiver form, I'm sorry, online learning contract. The online learning contract is linked to the school counseling webpage, and I'll show you how to navigate that to print that contract off. Any questions about the world language requirement? Please note that if your student is taking high school courses for credit as an 8th grader, that potentially means they would finish up their English credits early, or their math credits early, or their world language credits a little early. They are highly encouraged to continue on filling their schedule with challenging courses because, again, that's your opportunity to build that high school transcript. I always tell students your high school transcript is kind of like a marketing tool for yourself when you're applying to college. So the better you can market yourself, the better your chances are of getting into the college of your choice. Any questions about world language? For your elective credits, again, I mentioned 2 elective credits must be from within the same discipline. We have elective course options available in business, agriculture, digital media, fine arts, which includes your visual arts, your theater, vocal music, and band. And then electives within any other academic area. So they have a lot of options. Again, course planning guide. All of our courses are laid out with course descriptions, letting you know if the elective options are year-long or semester-long. All of our classes are 1 credit. The course planning guide will also let you know if there are any prerequisite requirements required so that you can enroll in the class. And it also tells you which grade levels are able to sign up for a particular course. With Health and PE, students will take this semester-long course in their freshman year. Again, I know some students, typically our band students, opt to pick this course up online over the summer because their schedule is full for their freshman year. They sign up for their English, their math, their science, their social studies, their world language, and band. And so that's how they work that health and PE credit in, is to take it online over the summer. Some choose to take it in addition to their regular six period day, and that is fine too. So just know that option is available to them. The college and career readiness credit, again, those will be honors credits, either a research or leadership course. And we're still in the development phase of those classes. So any questions?
For the online PE, can that be done this summer before they actually start?
Absolutely. They can begin taking those online courses this summer as soon as they finish their 8th grade year. Yes, ma'am.
Is that research and leadership and/or, is that just a UA thing, or is that?
It is a local requirement.
So there's no like state into course test for that?
No, no state exam. Any other hands that I'm not seeing with the column here? So just to kind of review the timeline that we've given them, after reviewing the high school course planning guide and completing the orange course registration forms that they've been provided, we are asking that they turn those in to Ms. Malone no later than February 15th. Ms. Malone will then provide us with the forms. I think you all received an email communication or Connect Ed communication this morning with links to the important forms as well as the high school course planning guide. There were also links to a Sign Up Genius, one for Ms. Silvestri and one for myself, where you all could sign up for a meeting so that you and your child could come in and meet with us to further discuss their plans for course registration and answer any questions that you may have. So between the 15th and March 11th, which is when we'll be back in Ms. Malone's classroom to register them in PowerSchool, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions and finalize their course selections before they're entered into the computer. Again, I wrapped with them on Monday, just reminding them why this all matters. Number one, obviously, high school graduation. Number two, their post-secondary plans. Again, reminding them how important, their choices in high school are when it comes to impacting their plans for college and their plans for a career. So again, if you can kind of help us push that begin with the end in mind, we would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to show you how to navigate our website to access the course planning guide. Again, we did email the links. However, we want to make it easiest for you. So you would go to departments, scroll down to school counseling, high school and college placement. And about the middle of the page, you will see 2019-2020 high school course planning guide. Please take time to review this information with your rising ninth grader so that they can make well-informed decisions especially about the elective requirements or the elective courses that we offer. I reminded them that if they sign up for a semester-long elective, which for most of them, I mean, they're going to. They have a semester-long health and PE. It should be paired with a semester-long elective. On their orange forms, it asks for alternate requests for electives. It's very important that they fill in those alternate requests. Basically, what we do is try our very best to schedule them for their primary selections. If we find a glitch where we can't work out their first choice in elective, then we take a look at the alternates. We do this a lot of times over the summer when you're on vacation, or maybe your child is attending a summer camp and we're not able to reach you by phone or email. And so anyway, we'll look to that alternate request to see what else we can try to fit into their schedule so that they're satisfied with what they're taking their 9th grade year. The online learning contract that was mentioned, it is linked to this page, as well as the honors course waiver. Again, any of these forms, if at all possible, we would like for those to be submitted by the February 15th deadline. I understand some may come in after that, and that is totally fine. But if you know for certain that you're going to do an online class, then it's good to go ahead and have that in hand so we can keep the ball rolling. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Did you say that the recommendations, the teacher recommendations would be in our school, or will they know about it beforehand?
Teachers most often have that conversation with the students, so they do have a good idea ahead of time.
So before they have to turn the forms in on the 15th, they will know.
Teachers are in the process of making those recommendations now. But I always advise the student, if you've not had that conversation with your teacher, feel free to approach them about it. They're welcome to discuss it with the student. Yes.
Thinking of language online, like French, would it be French 1 first semester, French 2 second semester?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
How good are those courses online? Are they for language?
Through North Carolina Virtual Public School, those courses follow the North Carolina Standard Course of Study. They're excellent. The only thing you need to emphasize, and which I emphasized it Monday, self-motivation is key for those classes because they do not have a teacher standing over them saying, okay, you've got to log in your course. Okay, you need to be submitting assignments. Self-motivation is key. And monitoring parents. They are assigned a class period during the school day if that's how it works out, if it's not a summer class or in addition to their 6-period day. Some students may take an online class during the regular school day. They're in an online learning lab. However, still they have someone to monitor them. But again, it's a lot of self-motivation and being able to work independently is required. But the classes are fantastic. Anything else? Ms. Silvestri, is there anything you would like to add? I know you're dying to get in front of this computer screen over here.
Actually, I have one question.
Okay.
Can they take a class online that is offered here at the school?
So with that, if the class is offered during the school day and it fits into their regular 6-period schedule, then they must take it face-to-face. However, if it will not fit, let's say they chose honor psychology, but because of their other course selections or preferences, it doesn't work, there's a scheduling conflict, then they could take it during the school day online during a time that it fits into their schedule. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes.
So one of the things that you've been putting a lot of emphasis on is the end, like
Yes.
they're preparing for the end. When do the counselors start meeting with the students to start finding out what their career thoughts are, or is there a career inventory? Is there discussion? Because I don't know that some of the kids know.
Good question. And most of them will not know, which is, as 9th graders, your schedule is pretty well set for you. It's really moving into your junior and senior year. However, I think the emphasis so that they really are giving it their very best during the first 2 years of high school to kind of set the tone for their junior and senior year is very important. So as soon as Ms. Silvestri and I get our hands on them, so to speak, for that initial meeting about course registration, that's when those conversations began. We have a wonderful tool called Naviance that they will have access to as ninth graders. It will become their life senior year. However, 9th through 11th grade, Naviance student is the name. They will have login information, and there are multiple career inventories through Naviance student that provide excellent information to help guide them. Also, College Match is one of the inventories that they'll have access to through Naviance, where they fill in up to 20 to 25 different filters based on their preferences and what they would like in a college. And it will actually build a college list based on their preferences. So it gives them a starting place. So we definitely have the tools to provide them, and we begin those conversations whenever we meet with them to register them for classes. Yes, sir.
How early can they start taking classes as far as for early college to
The college credit, that will begin their junior year.
Okay.
And again, maintaining good grades, strong work ethic, that's very important in helping to prepare them for that.
Just one note there, there is in terms of being eligible, there will be a GPA requirement as well as a test score requirement, whether or not that's the pre-ACT, your PSAT, your SAT. So just know for the college transfer courses, it's GPA and test scores.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
For some of the classes, I know you're directing a lot of the ninth graders into, they all have kind of standard courses. So from a teacher perspective, is there usually one teacher, or is there two teachers or three teachers per? So for instance, if it's the English 1, is there one teacher for English 1 in all of them, or is there 3 or 4 different English 1 classes?
One, right?
Predominant.
Yeah,
yes.
predominantly one. Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
The PE online over the summer, you just briefly explain that.
How is that possible?
My daughter said something like they can activity kept in, and you know, there's.
Right. So for the PE portion of it, they are required to do activities. Some of it may require that they log certain activities to submit. They may be required to video themselves performing a certain skill that they have to upload for their teacher. So it's pretty interesting.
And they only take a half a year of PE, and then it's like.
That is correct.
Can they do that summer online PE even if they're not in band?
Yeah.
One note about summer online courses, what's typically a 16-week course in the fall or the spring is condensed into 8 weeks. So while we might think health PE, easy peasy, you're doing about 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week. So do consider vacations, do consider access to Wi-Fi or computer time. We know our summers are very short. So again, just note it's 8 weeks versus 16.
It is pretty time intensive, and we have communicated that to students for summer classes. It could be 4 to 5 hours a day. And so, they don't take time outs for vacation or camps, which can sometimes make it difficult.
And it ends up 2 weeks after school.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say. It does
it
lap
does
over
flow.
into the beginning of the school year because it does not start till like mid-June or toward the end of June before the class
Right, so probably the
starts.
first 2 weeks of our new school year, your child would still be working in their online class. Yes, ma'am.
I noticed when I was reading through some of the stuff that there was a Cardinal Time character education required course.
Right, so that is our weekly advisory. It meets twice a week. And so one day is an academic day, and we alternate club days. So Tuesday's the cardinal time. This year, Tuesdays are cardinal days, and Fridays are cardinal days. And so during that cardinal time advisory, our students right now are doing ACT prep through ACT Academy. They may do other activities in preparation for our family days. And then on our club days, they choose clubs at the beginning of the year. Our clubs are semester long, and so they'll meet with their clubs on the club days.
I have a question that might be better for Mr. Zorn. This class, the class of 2023, has been plagued with teachers leaving mid-year. Ever since fifth grade, they've had 1 to 3 teachers leaving mid-year.
Is the high school staff a little more stable?
There it is. Or is it just our class that learned that?
That's yet to be.
They have had something on it. I can say in the 5 years I've been here, after seeing what has happened in the middle school level, seeing what's happened in this particular class, in that time period, there has been nowhere near as much change. Early on in my career, the first couple of years, there was quite a bit of turnover. But the high school staff has been very stable probably the last 3 years. Can't guarantee anything that something always happens. I think I had to hire. I went into the summer not having to hire anybody last year. And then by summer's end, I had to replace 2 teachers, 3 teachers.
Okay, so again, if you've not already seen the email that was sent out at 8 o'clock this morning regarding course registration, please be sure to check your email so that you'll have links to the necessary documents, the high school course planning guide, and the Sign Up Genius link so that you can schedule a meeting with your child's high school counselor. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Are you not your one-man party today? Yes. I don't know.